Hello everyone. Now, I've been watching the news lately, just like you have, regarding these recent statements from Donald Trump. Specifically, his warning that we're going to see a much higher level of conflict or attacks if a deal isn't reached soon. Now, I've spent a fair amount of time in the Oval Office. I've been in those rooms where the stakes are high and the pressure is even higher. And while every president has their own style of negotiation, there's a fundamental truth we can't ignore. Words have consequences. In the world of diplomacy, there's a fine line between leverage and escalation. When you threaten a higher level of action, you're not just talking to the person across the table. You're talking to the markets. You're talking to our allies. And most importantly, you're talking to the people whose lives are actually on the line. Whether we're talking about trade, security, or international conflict, a deal isn't just a piece of paper. It's a framework for stability. When we move away from dialogue and toward ultimatum, we risk losing the very thing we're trying to build, sustainable peace. I remember back in the 90s, during some of our toughest negotiations, whether it was the Dayton Accords or the Good Friday Agreement, there were plenty of times I wanted to bang my fist on the table, but I learned that the most powerful thing a leader can do is stay in the room until the job is done. Right now, the rhetoric is getting hot, real hot, and I worry that if we keep leaning into the language of attacks, instead of the language of agreements, we might find ourselves in a hole that's a lot harder to climb out of. We need to get back to the basics of American leadership. That means strength, yes, but it also means the wisdom to know when to temper that strength with a little bit of common sense and a lot of hard work. I'd love to hear what you think. Are these tactics the right way to get things moving, or are we playing with fire? Leave a comment below and let's have a real conversation about it.